So you've learned how to hypnotize someone. Well done. Great skill to have. But what? And so if you came into a hypnotherapy training program, a lot of the focus that they have is how to hypnotize someone, which makes sense because you came in there to begin with. But there were times, especially this was my experience and other my other colleagues, students' experiences as well, where sure we helped we got someone hypnotized, but then when we practice on each other or when we try to do it with our family members or potential clients, then the effect isn't as good. They either have resistance to the hypnosis or they just don't become hypnotized or go under or are very difficult to relax. And this was like really one of the most frustrating things for me learning this methodology. Because I practiced on people in my life when I started to learn it. And some people that I practiced on the first few didn't visualize going down the stairs. Like they just couldn't do it. And it's not their fault, right? But it was one of those things where it's like a confidence draining thing, right? Because not everyone goes through the traditional going down to the stairs visualization, walking down the beach type visualization. And I experienced this very early. So I looked for other ways to help my clients with going under. But what I realize now looking back is that that focus really is counterproductive and a complete waste of time because in traditional hypnosis methods, it is assumed that whoever we're using the hypnosis on is able to visualize, is able to clearly follow a guided meditation. Now, a lot of people can easily do that, but what do we do with the people who cannot visualize, who have a hard time meditating on a normal day? How can we get their attention, which is what we need in hypnosis anyway, it's the attention. How can we get their attention, or make sure that we have their attention throughout the whole hypnosis uh, session? And, one of the things that was truly transformational for me was learning how to, instead of learning how to hypnotize clients better, instead of learning how to do rapid inductions, I looked at the many methodologies that just work with the subconscious, regardless of whether or not my client was visualizing or going down the stairs or relaxed. And there are many there. And what I found was that there were a lot of methods that work very well without needing to rely on keeping your eyes closed and visualization. A few examples, as you probably know, are something like EFT, right? EFT, when you tap, has been shown to really reduce a lot of the emotional distress that one may be feeling, but they don't have to visualize or they don't have to go down to any stairs or visualize their timelines. And so when throughout that process, I found, obviously many different things as we like to do because we like to learn as hypnotists and coaches, but really what was the most beneficial for me was learning through principles. And I really didn't get this at first, but when we learn the principles of how to just create transformations using the subconscious mind, irregardless of the techniques, then we become this really powerful person. We become this really powerful transformational hypnotist because then we're no longer relying on something that we cannot control. We cannot control whether or not our clients go into hypnosis. We cannot control how deep or how shallow our clients' trances are. But what we can control is our ability and our skill set to be able to investigate our client's problem. So instead of looking at the many ways as to how I can hypnotize someone, which is cool, but the reason why I came into hypnotherapy to begin with and use hypnosis was to create transformations for my clients to help them heal. And that doesn't the hypnosis isn't needed in order for a client to heal. Hypnosis isn't needed in order for them to have a breakthrough. We just need to know how to create breakthroughs, how to create not just rapid but lasting breakthroughs as well. And that's why I'm super, super grateful that I discovered advanced conversational hypnosis, or ACH, because it really isn't focused on the hypnosis, it's focused on the therapeutic effects that is based on hypnotic principles. And so instead of focusing on the hypnosis, we focus on actually how to create the client breakthroughs, teaching how to actually investigate a client's problem, which was the biggest thing was missing in a lot of the training schools, right? I've been to multiple training programs and certification programs for subconscious work, but it was really just through this method that we were taught how to investigate a client's problem, not what to do, but how to actually investigate a client's problem, which has been such an amazing, tremendous skill. Like the amount that I paid for this program was definitely a lot less than the really expensive hypnotherapy program I was in, which really didn't do a lot of background work or a lot of learning. It was all bells and whistles. And when I learned how to actually um, work with the subconscious mind, that was the biggest thing. Like that was the most transformational thing, not just for my client's life, but for my life as well. And so when, if you're someone who is in a hypnosis school and you're looking for more, which it's not really your fault because, a lot of the hypnotherapy training schools aren't focused on how to investigate the client's problem. It kind of comes through time. But in ACH, we actually teach you how to investigate a client's problem. And that's why I became a trainer, because this is something that is very well needed. It's not just about using hypnosis scripts, it's all about helping your client receive a breakthrough. And so if you learn hypnosis and if you want to get better at the actual therapeutic aspect of hypnosis, then definitely consider learning ACH, because this is the skill set that I believe all hypnotists, hypnotherapists, and even coaches need, because through transformational work, um, helps you get it helps you get there to another level, because we're using the unconscious mind, using conversation that really reduces the normal resistance that one may have with the traditional hypnosis modalities, because we're not telling them to do anything. We're starting the conversation and building up that way, which is conversation is part of human nature. And it really just helps us step back into our natural abilities as humans, which is really going to make a big impact in the client satisfaction that you have, because you're just going to be more connected with your client. And who wouldn't want that, right?